Candy cold and secrets you see me. Manifest my dreams, they wanna be me. How I do it, the questions when they see me. So blessed, they think I got a genie. Candy cold and secrets you see me. Manifest my dreams, they wanna be me. How I do it, the questions when they see me. So blessed, they think I got a genie. 213, the star was born. Keep us in the light and she passed it on. With officer whites and Miss Candy coated on a different vibration, so you know I'm close. We're not the same, I'm not a game. You match NG, I shift chakra. Not leave the keys, but I'm on fire. Be more bread, home of the wire. Candy cold and secrets you see me. Manifest my dreams, they wanna be me. How I do it, the questions when they see me. So blessed, they think I got a genie. Candy cold and secrets you see me. Manifest my dreams, they wanna be me. How I do it, the questions when they see me. So blessed, they think I got a genie. I am like dopamine, you can't control this substance. You don't want smoke me, you couldn't handle my substance. He gave me life and assured me abundance. I don't speak broke, sis, I am abundant. My ex, yeah, he's a clown, making fake pages to watch me now. Climbing to the top, they can't stop me now. Got so much sauce, trying to slurp me now. Got my foot on their necks, and I ain't letting up. They stomp the yard, tell them step it up. Got my foot on their necks, and I ain't letting up. They stomp the yard, tell them step it up. 2 shows, 3 magazines, been on the radio, I'm not stopping. Wrote a book, best-selling author, my God keeps me popping. I'm affiliate, a life coach, my stock keeps on rising. Wednesdays at 8 o'clock on Facebook, they're watching. Candy cold. Hey, what's going on, y'all? Hey, Facebook. Hey, TikTok. Hey, Benita girl. You over here, huh? Make sure you guys give me a heart and a thumbs up when you get here. Share the show for me. Say hello down in the comments. What is going on with y'all? It is Wednesday. Or I think I want to say Wednesday. And it is so much stuff going on around the world today. A lot of stuff. So make sure you give me a heart and a thumbs up. Oh, look. Oh, you were early. Hey, Andre. Shout outs to YouTube in the building. Shout outs to YouTube. How are you feeling? How are you doing? How was your week? How was your weekend? Let me know if you guys can hear me too. Okie dokie. Yes. Let me know if you guys can hear me. What's new with y'all? Oh, let me confirm my appointment. Yes, perfect. I will be getting these messages as I am on the show, wouldn't I? Oh, hey, Benita. Andre say yes. It's a lot. You know what? Look. I'm coming here today because although Andre, it's a lot to go on. Well, look to go on. That too. Although there is a lot going on. I feel like there is so much to unpack and all the madness that's going on around the world. Wouldn't you agree? Give me a heart and thumbs up, tap the chat if you agree. I think there is so much to be learned here from what is going on around the world today. Okay? Okay, I had to confirm my nail appointment. Sorry, y'all. So you sound louder on TikTok, but over here it's cool. You know what, Benita? Let me see if I can turn my volume up because every time that y'all tell me my volume is wrong, I go and I listen to it and my volume is quite proper. And now I done hit the button and I can hear me. Hold on. I think messing with Benita, I didn't hit the wrong button. To where so I'm hearing everything that I say. Let me see something. Okay. Let me mute that.
With you. See, messing with you, Benita. Messing with you. Now you got me without thinking for a second. How about now? Let me know. Say yes. Okay, now I can hear. Okay, I hear it. I don't need Benita to hear me. And I sound quite clear. Okay, so I hear me. I'm quite clear. So, all right, Benita, that you guys, that hiccup was brought to you by Benita. Okay, and because Benita is over here with me, and she is also moderator, I always take what she says into consideration because she be right here in the chat. She be right here with me. All right. Yes, I can hear. Let's just say yes, I can hear you now. All right. Perfect. So it is so much that's going on and around the world today. It's so much to unpack with everything that has gone on. Shout out to TikTok. Hey, TikTok. And I am like, there is so much to unpack here. I hope that everybody is paying attention. I have been seeing all these different posts. You know what we got? We got Diddy. Diddy has finally gone to trial. He's on trial. Then we have Tory Lanez, who done been poked up, for no reason. And they are requesting for the governor to release him along with they want it to be their step before they go ahead and they take it to court, child. There's just so much to go on. Are you guys keeping up? What's going on? What's going on? Before we just dive, we're gonna take a dive after five and dive straight into it. I had a good week. I've been having a great week. I had a great weekend last weekend. I just want to say, the entire year of 2025 has been with little tests that have come. Okay, glory be to God. I have been having a great year. I think we need to acknowledge when we have good times. We always acknowledge when we have the bad times. But I've been having a really good year in spite of whatever the in spite of may be. But I really have. Um, oh, I'm loving how bright it is tonight. Okay, come through camera. The camera is campering. Uh, so what are we getting into first, you guys? What do we want to get into first? So you guys let me know. Are we going to get into Tory Lanez? Are we going to get into because I feel like there's just so much here. I feel like there will be more time spent on Diddy versus the Tory thing. What you guys think? Tell me. Audrey said, "Let's go." Yes, I'm gonna let y'all choose. What we getting into first? What we getting into first? Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. What we getting into first? I'm just going to go off the ripper. Let me know. What we getting into first? What we getting into first? Tell me your diamonds. Tell me your diamonds. Tell me your diamonds. Okay. Andre has spoken. First one I saw. All right, Tori. Okay, so let's get into Tory Lane. Oh, she said Diddy. Oh, Diddy lost. I feel like Diddy gonna bring it home though. So we're gonna get into Tory. Okay. So here we are with Tory. What do you think? What's your thoughts on Tory? So right now, Tory Lanez has this company, I think it's called change.org. They have started a petition for him where they are now, requesting for the governor to pardon him or at least allow him to go home on house arrest or whatever because of him being poked up 14 times. He's been poked up in the jar. His jar is like gashed open in his chest a lot and in his back. He had, collapsed lungs, but now he is healing well, and they were able to take the tubing out of his lungs, which the doctors are so surprised about because, um, he's recovering pretty rapid for someone who would sustain those injuries. Make sure you guys are sharing the show for me. Share the show out for me tonight. I want to see the shares. Make sure you guys are sharing the show for me. And so here we are. I told you guys, I didn't completely follow the whole entire trial, but Tory Lanez's album a couple months ago is what made me say, "I wanted to know more about this case," 'cause I got to hear Tory's side. Listen, okay, listen. I don't believe he pum-pumed that girl. I don't think he did, and not only did his album make me start to think that, but it was also the fact that what the press conference said today. I will show y'all the press conference, but y'all know they be trying to flag your girl every time I do that, you know what I mean? And they just was saying in the press conference that his DNA this was even and all of this was even brought up in court, okay? All of this was even brought up in court. His DNA was never found on the weapon. His DNA was never found on the weapon. The weapon is locked, sealed, and delivered. It cannot be unsealed for whatever reason. Nobody knows who the gun is, whose it belongs to, if it's registered or anything like that. And the gun was never presented in court. The weapon was never presented in court during the trial at all. Did y'all know that? You said guys in jail get stabbed in jail all the time, but they have to stay locked up in the hospital, so he needs to stay in custody. Okay, so he needs to stay in custody. Okay. Why is that? Why do you feel like he needs to stay in custody? And so, the hospital lost the fragments cannot be found, and also they brought out they brought out some good points as far as usually when someone, pleads the fifth and all that, get immunity, it's because maybe there's something that could, corroborate them, and become an issue. They gave Kelsey that. They gave her immunity. So the lawyers brought up today. Why would she need immunity if she didn't do anything? Which is really like, hmm. I swear I keep telling y'all, one day once I'm like, "Yeah, I wanna be child. I wanna be on a nice trial." Like, I feel like they need me on all these trials right now. I ain't lied, okay? Um, well, hey, CJ. We're getting into Tory and we're getting into the Diddler. Um, you know, and all of this stuff that they brought up was apparently brought up the very first time in court. I know a lot of people who keep saying, "Well, why didn't he take the stand? Why didn't he testify?" I don't know. He never really said why he did or he didn't. But what I will say is that okay, here he is. Back it up. You got to back it up. So his legal team recently served Kelsey and Megan with paperwork, right? Saying they found new evidence, they want to take the case back. They asked them questions about certain things like where is this and why was this not presented? Nobody responded. Kelsey's team didn't respond, but Megan's team did and said they had no comment or they were going to be looking into it. The next day, which was yesterday, coincidentally, he ends up poked up, injured, and in the hospital. Now, the news people that said, his attorneys was like, what a coincidence that after, you know, they served Megan and them with the paperwork, he ends up in this altercation. I guess there was rumors going around saying that he had been drinking and all that. He even gave his father a message to clear it up that it was 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. It was 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. He said he was not drinking or anything like that, and they poked him up. Now, I'm not gonna lie. We say there's no such thing as a coincidence, but if the chain of events happened the way that it went, I ain't gonna lie. I was like, "Ooh, I think they had somebody do something to him while he was incarcerated." You feel me? "Hey, TikTok, make sure you guys tap the screen and you can help me reach my goal." Oh, look, TikTok done changed the, heart. Oh, that is so. Let's see, CJ said, "I was just about to say, I feel like them peoples got him stabbed up, and I didn't even know none of all that what you said about a pill." Right, so when I first heard it, I said, "Something ain't right about this, like, something is not right." Like, how did mind you, he's been in there for 2 years already, he has not been in any trouble, has not had anything happen to him, he requested to be in general population, he didn't want to be treated differently, and now all of a sudden there's been a lot of talk about him going back to court. He told a lot of his album, and now all of a sudden he ends up getting poked up, right? And then the witness and the bodyguard. So Kelsey's bodyguard now has also come forward with new testimony, and they saying that he heard Kelsey say that she was the one who fired the weapon. Did y'all hear that? And so, of course, just with anything, we always, when anybody says anything, it's like, "Well, man, what made you take so long?" This and that. Because I will say, us as people in public opinion, when things are publicly, you open up to public opinion, and we always seem to be the prosecution, the juror. We know all the answers. We know what you should have did, how you would have did it, and why you ain't do it. And the fact that he is represented and he would take the advice of his legal team, and people are still saying, "Well, why didn't he testify?" His legal team told him not to testify. But somehow, the public lawyers always know better, right? He said, "Exactly." Now all of a sudden he get banged up that bad. Exactly. So his father explained that Tory thought that was his it. That was his end and he was going to be done. But, his father is always preaching and was like, "But God has other plans." So, here we go. When they asked the when his new attorney started doing their, research and stuff on the case, they asked, "Well, why didn't you say anything before?" And he said, "Because it's been weighing down on his conscience that he cannot continue to allow this man to be in prison for something that he did not do." Now, before you say, "What? He lied." This is true. Because remember before, I think they couldn't find him or something during the case or something. Do y'all remember? Or whatever the case may be. So, I think really follow. So, outside of that, right, I said, "Oh my goodness." I think that was a good, I was like, "Well, I wanna hear it." "Hey, Alexis." I was like, "Hey, I wanna hear it." They made some great points, though, it came back 99, point 0.9, and it was that none of his DNA was found on his weapon. 4 oth it was 4 sets of DNA on the weapon, and none of them was his. So it's making me think it could be Kelsey's, Megan's, and the security bodyguard. That's what it got me thinking. But none of them was there. They said everybody had DNA, residue on their hands, but they only tested Tory. Why is that? So they're raising some good issues. I didn't know that Tory got sentenced around the time that this high attorney or judge or something, he was waiting to be appointed to a different position. I didn't know that. So um they're also going with the fact that it was election time and they feel like that this political stunt because it would have made the person who was running for whatever he was running for, and I ain't even about to get into all of that, get him into his position. So here we go. This is the $1,000,000 question. How has Louis let that get by? So here's the $1,000,000 question. Tory Lanez said, even on his album, even on his recent podcast interview that he did, that he raised these issues to his attorney and his attorney was refusing to present them. Now, I do know that sometimes attorneys will act on their own without even consenting the person and all of that other stuff. I do know that, right? Hey, TikTok, you guys send me 3 roses. It told me do a flash thing or something. And, you know, I do know that, right? And his argument has always been that his lawyers were in cahoots with Rock Nation. So somebody at the press conference was like, "Hey, are you guys gonna bring up Jay-Z because X, Y, and Z, this, and the third?" And the guy was like, "Look, that's not what we do. This is not our part. That's for it to be taken care of with the prosecution." So apparently, Shane, let me tell y'all so we can get all the details. Give me a thumbs up, y'all. Smash the like button over there on YouTube. Go ahead, share it on Facebook. And I'm not gonna lie. I never knew Tory Lane's real name. I didn't know his name was Daystar. I think that is so cute. I did not know his name was Daystar. I think that is too cute. I don't know. I think his father broke down why he named him that and what it meant and all of that. But all right, let me see. Change.org is justice and fair treatment for Tory Lanez. They have a petition going on. So they are like a nonprofit organization that go around and look at cases where people were treated unjust, right? Quiet as it's kept, I signed the petition. I did, y'all. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. I was like, if I'm able to sign the petition all the way from Maryland to California, okay? I have been charged up all day. I've been dealing with my own discretions. I have been, just no, I don't want to say going through because I ain't been going through, but I'm here. You understand? And my thing is, I don't have any emotion connected to this case. So I can only go off of what they are saying. And if what they are saying is what they also brought up in court, the new thing now is what the bodyguard has said, right? Is what the bodyguard has said. Oh, that y'all talking to each other. Interesting. And it's no DNA, nobody else got tested. Um, it looks like I get what I'm gonna go back to what Benita is saying, like, hey, people get poked up every day while they're incarcerated. He can say to have somebody incarcerated, it's like a jungle in there. I don't know. I'm just going off of what I've been told, but I don't think that it's a nice place. He's in like a gang populated prison. Okay. He didn't even directly pume somebody and he got sentenced to 10 years. He's been in there for 2, right? Like I think we gotta listen to this, right? And go off of whatever the facts are. And if both times it has been presented and they even allowed the state to test everything using their own people, they allowed Tory Lanez to use his own people. And both people came back saying it was no way possible. Like his DNA was not on his test. First they came back like inconclusive and all that. They went through all of that and then they got it tested again and it was like, no, right? And then you had this girl saying, well, this is what happened to me, right? We already know she's a liar. She got on the stand saying that they slept together. She told the world that they didn't sleep together. Then when it came out, when she did the documentary, she was like it ain't none of y'all business who I'm sleeping. I felt like I ain't have to answer that. You understand? Like we got it. And don't get me wrong, 'cause she's an Aquarius, and y'all know how I feel about Aquarius. I support her to no end. Okay. But it was like, "Come on, girl." She my point is she's not the best, or as they like to say, she's not as credible as she's the victim, right? Andre, them put that pressure on him. You know, God used to go against that system from all that I understand. Yes, but his lawyer was on their side. Like his attorney was not even on his side. And he talked about that if you don't go listen out. He even talked about that on the podcast that he recently did not long ago. He learned all of this. And remember his attorney quit. He talked about that. He said she quit right before he was about to fire her because he had caught on and learned some things that she didn't know or she didn't think that he was going to learn. So I definitely I definitely was like, yo. So when they was like, we want the governor to overturn it, they even said something about Trump. And then here we are too. Y'all know how I feel about me to know all the details. Tory Lanez had never been well, I'm talking like Daystar. Daystar has never been incarcerated. He never broke law. He don't have a record. He's never been locked up. Like far as his history is, he a straight law-abiding citizen, right? Straight law-abiding citizen. And here it is, he got sentenced to 10 years for something that there is no proof saying that he did it. Man, when I was listening to them people and I heard his album before, man, when I was listening to them people, I said, "Listen, I got to sign this petition. Y'all think I'm playing?" I was talking to my homeboy because they be picking on me like, "Girl, you is just so invested." Look, y'all, let me show you. Hold on. For real. Let me show y'all. I was because my thing is I am and it's not even an investment, but I don't know. I'm all for the right thing. You know what I mean? Look, Candace, your report is not complete yet. I had to go through all 2, 3 steps, okay? And let me show y'all. I was not playing. I was not playing, y'all. I signed the petition. But after that, I think it's well off. That was early on when they first talked about it on the news, but, being as it may. So I definitely feel like that this was they were definitely talking about, like, Martin Luther King and how the justice system is just so corrupt, this, that, and the third, and how that they just wanted a quick arrest, and they did not give Tory his just due. They just wanted to, get a conviction. They wanted to move fast and get a conviction, move fast and get a conviction, and that's what they did. They moved fast and they got a conviction. So, I'm like, "Alright." So what do you guys think? Now that you guys know more of what's going on, you guys over there on YouTube, make sure if you're watching on YouTube, you hit the like button on the video. I see y'all over there. Y'all hit the like button. Um, definitely. So now what do you guys feel before we get to the heavy stuff? What do you guys feel now about the Tory Lanez thing, knowing what we know today? His DNA was not found on the weapon. He miraculously gets severely injured right after Megan served with the newness of the case and that they are wanting to take it back to court. And honestly, I feel like that this hurt her career a little bit. I don't she ain't seem to get right since, with Roc Nation backing her. But if this boy gets out, I don't wanna call him a boy, if this man gets released from prison, oh, baby. Do you know what that is going to do to her rap career? The little bit that she does have? Do you know how many people may not want to work with her? But I don't know. But either way, Chris Brown went straight to his story and said, "Free Tory." Yes, he did. But you see, uh, Chris Brown, he talks about this on his album because he is from Canada. His money was tied up and he couldn't get to all of his money. And he said that he had reached out to people, nobody did anything. So that's why he was saying too on the podcast that when he come home, he don't want to rock with nobody. But he said Chris Brown was the only one. He said he will forever rock with Chris Brown. 'Cause when he had more money, and his new attorney said that they wanted 900,000 to take his case to court. He said Chris Brown did not hesitate to give him that money and said, "Just give it back to me when you get home. Not as you coming home next year, not when I'm going to get it, not with" like, Chris Brown doesn't even know if you're coming home. But what he does know is that you got sentenced to 10 years, so let's say if he goes through this whole sentence, you could pay me back this $900,000 in 10 years. They only locked him up because they had his own label and wanted to control him. Yeah, and then he just had released what he did on NFT. So he also released his album, like one of his last albums, not this one, through an NFT and made millions. But not only that, he did it to where as though his fans could even purchase it. So even by him doing what he did, whatever way he did it, his some of his fans even got rich and became millionaires. He's not signed to a label either though. He said he doesn't plan on signing to a label. He deals with, a certain publishing company. I'm about to tell Parasol. He's with Parasol, distribution company, and he said he recommends everybody to get with them because they're new, they're hungry, and they ain't let him down yet, and they are looking for new artists to work with, to help, to push their music out there, right? CJ said, "I feel exactly how I felt back then. They getting back at Tory because he didn't want to sign with them." Okay, so you and Alexis are on the same page. Exactly, Alexis, he was doing his thing and wanted to stay on his own, and they were salty. Yeah, okay. And I don't know, but I definitely hope, Tory Lanez gets off. I definitely hope he gets off, um, because, man, if we're going off of the facts, if we're going off of the facts, he did not pum pum that girl. He didn't do it. If we gotta go off and that's what the lady said today on the news when she was at the press conference. She said, "What happened to you had proved beyond a reasonable doubt?" And she said that was not proven at all. So you guys, what do you think? Are you here for Tory? Put it in the chat. Free Tory or keep him in there? Let me see. TikTok, you guys put it too. Free Tory or keep him in there? How we feeling? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. What we working with? What you working with? Pum, pum, pum. What you working with? Are we freeing Tory or keeping him in there? Are we freeing Tory or keeping him in there? Let's see. Are we freeing him or we keeping him in there? Okay. Andre said free Tory. Okay. YouTube says free him. Andre said free Tory. Okay. Who else? What y'all thinking? Oh, hey, Brian. Toya said free Tory. Free Tory. Okay, there's a lot of Tory. Oh. Benita, free Tory. You done changed your mind. You just said he needed to be in there. What about you over there? Who else on YouTube? What we doing with it? What we doing with him? TJ said, "I'm not even a big Tory fan for real, but all this made me really dislike Megan, and I used to love that girl. Right is right and wrong is wrong. So free Tory and screw that girl." No, for real. Not you used to love that girl. So you feel at home right now. Well, Benita say, "Yeah, I ain't know all the facts." That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You know, I was listening to I'm not gonna lie, I was listening to this case and I was trying to figure out, like, how the hell did he get convicted? Like, how did he get convicted? I think it was mainly because of, what they were trying to say as far as, um, she was trying to say he was taunting her and all that, and then this is what they put out too, because remember he was on the phone with the best friend, and this is what they brought up in the meeting. They said, why did Kelsey get immunity unless she did something, right? There was no reason for the state to offer her that. She wasn't on trial. It wasn't just her. And she also was on the phone with Tory Lanez, right? So they said she was also on the phone with Tory Lanez. They had several conversations. So why not during any of these conversations did she say, "Why did you pum my friend?" Because this at the time was your best friend. Why didn't she bring it up? Why was she even continuing to talk to him if he just pumed her best friend? When they said that, I said, Lord, they got a point. They got a point. I like these is questions I want to know now, but now it makes sense as to why when Kelsey went to that podcast. Remember when she did that interview on that podcast and everybody thought she was gonna say something? It makes perfectly good sense why she never said anything. She didn't go into any details. She didn't talk about it. She just was talking about how she couldn't believe that Megan was keeping with people behind her back, except with her friend. Why that they talked about how she talked about how her and Megan had those songs with each other and things like that. And how, she moved her as her friend. Megan just, switched up like that. But she was also devastated to know that the girl was sleeping with the dude she was talking to. So they definitely made a lot of sense. But yeah, so we're gonna keep up with what's going on with Tory. So when in doubt, go listen to his new album. Like if you notice, they didn't even push his new album, but his new album was very good. It talked about the case, and then look, check this out. Megan is also suing the blogger, Milagro. I wonder how that now is going to play out because Megan is saying that Milagro was being paid by Tory to come after her and go after her and start like a smear campaign. But now it's starting to seem like some of the things that Milagro was saying were true. So now this girl is getting sued for all this money, and he might come home, but blessings to all of them involved in that case. So the jury is we the people at Candy Code to say free tour. Free tour. Boom. Moving right along over in the next freaky deaky news, we're talking about Diddy. Okay. Diddy then got exposed. Diddy is a freaky, he's a 69 God, okay? And this is these are the things that are so disappointing. What are you guys thinking? Let me before I do my portion. How do you guys feel now? What are your thoughts now about the whole Cassie and Diddy situation? Now that we've heard these things come out directly from her mouth, even though most some of it was in the lawsuit, but we did learn that she was going to write a book. Oh, and we learned today that he didn't give her 30 million. She didn't get 30 million. We did learn that today. She did not get 30 million. She got 20. He gave her 20. He gave her 20 million. So that lets so I feel like that with us now knowing that, that should let you know too, you can't always listen and believe the blog sites, even if they seem to be like a credible blog site, because all the blog sites were saying that she got more than the 30 million. Remember that? It was like, "Oh, she got more than 30 million, this, that, and the third," and it came out today and she said it. She got 20 million, and it was from him collectively between him and all his companies. She got 20 million. Um, so but after just she gets cross-examined tomorrow. She gets cross-examined tomorrow by the defense. She's been on the stand for 16 hours, so 8 hours a day and 8 hours she was on the stand 8 hours a day and 8 hours of a day, so she's been on the stand, and she's pregnant, but today they removed her husband out of the courtroom because she had to talk about some things. But in the beginning, his daughters was in this courtroom the entire time, and it makes you wonder. Let me ask y'all, if you were in the courtroom and you know your parent, right? You know what you know about your parent, and you were in a courtroom and you're sitting there listening to they got evidence. So they had text messages between from your mother or your father. They got the video showing so your father or your mother cannot say that they did not participate or they did not do this, right? How would you guys feel sitting in a courtroom listening to how freaky deaky your parent is? And on top of that, how violent and abusive they were. So, because the kids didn't come to court today. They didn't come to court today. Talk to me, talk to me, talk to me. What y'all saying? Like, how would you feel? How does it feel? I want to know. Like, how would you feel letting to hear about your parent being like this predator, abusive, controlling? You know, how would you feel? And so the other thing with this is I was on social media today briefly, and oh my God, I just seen everybody just going in, and I truly am trying to understand why everyone is saying, "Oh, Cassie is a freak and she wanted it. She's a freak and she liked it." Or that's what money had you do. She wanted the money and was a freak in the process. That was so disheartening for me. They shouldn't have been there at all. They're already parent. They need therapy and start healing. Exactly. Exactly. But, it might have been, let's show up as a supportive front, because they would probably say, "Oh," you know how people would spin it, the media might spin it, "Oh, well, Diddy's children didn't even show up to show support for their father because he's guilty or they're embarrassed." Da, 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 da. So maybe it was like, "Hey, let us go, show this support, but I ain't trying to sit in there. I'm tired of these cameras all day." Whatever. But his sons were there. The daughters weren't. The daughters weren't. Sick to my stomach. I wouldn't want to hear that side of my parents' life, but if I have to, then I wouldn't want to hear anything. Yeah. And then the other side too that makes you go, is, they said that he was volatile and abusive to Kim Porter too, who was their mom. And then Cassie talked about how when he would beat her and she would have like gashes and just be totally messed up, that he would say, My son is here. You can't come out like that. And that's why she spent most of her time healing inside of hotels. More than likely, there are always some of the behaviors. So I probably wouldn't be too surprised if I'm really paying attention to my parents' character. Okay, okay, this is true. If you're paying attention, so you wouldn't be surprised if this is what's going on. And so then we have it where I just think it's so sad that people are, now granted, this is where I'm like, I'm all about accountability, right? I'm all about accountability. When he first met her and they first started talking, he, um he did tell her that he was into voyeurism. He was into seeing men sleep with his partner. He did tell her that. He did tell her that he was into that. That was, like, his thing, and she just was like, "Oh, okay," and then, she paid it, like, "Oh, okay, like, that's your thing," right? And, um, stuff like that. So, she did participate in it a few times, what I don't like is now, even with, some of the people on social media, it's painting it like just because she said yes in the beginning means that she couldn't say no later. You get what I'm saying? Remember why they had to change that law that said that a husband could, could, assay his wife because at first when the reports of abuse was being brought up, especially in the Caucasian community, from the wives reporting what their husbands was making them sleep with them, and they said after they told them no, and that's how that whole law and all that stuff ended up getting changed to where as though, yeah, a man can his wife. So it is just so sad because this man, right? And I really want y'all to look at this and think about this from a total different aspect of it, right? She was only 17 when she met her. He had by the time she was 22, he had freaked her out. She was hooked on drugs. She was hooked on opioids. Out of here, right? He also had her locked into a 10 album deal. Meanwhile, she only put out 2 in 2006 and in 2016. He practically owned her, right? She was also it comes across that she was like his sex toy. She was his personal punching bag, prostitute, just his personal human toy. I'm dead serious. And I am listening to this stuff, like, and reading these text messages, and of course, they're gonna try to use it against her because, she was in some of the text messages just like, "Oh, I wanna have a freak off. I'm ready for a freak off," or, "I wanna have sex. Come on, da 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 da." But I feel that people are missing the fact that she said that that was the only way she could spend time with him, was when it was time to get it in. You know what I mean? She didn't really see him. It was like he would come, do her, and leave. Come, do her, drug her, and then leave. She had to stay in a hotel 'cause mind you, she said she was getting beat almost like every day. The freak-offs was every week. She was doing 8 or 9 guys in a day, and it was only allowed 45-minute breaks between each session, right? Who is who would? Because you got some people who will, right? Uh, but who is willingly wanting to do all of that with their partner all day, nonstop? One time, she said it lasted for 3 days straight. Some of y'all can't even go 5 minutes. Some of y'all can't even go back to back. Let's just be real. So I could only imagine if you had to go to Pound Town for freaking 72 hours. Didn't care about he had everything for you that you needed. If you couldn't get it up, he had the Viagra for that. He had the drugs for that. He had the coke. He had all of it. He had every drug you could think of. Oh, you can't get dry? It don't matter. He has lubricants and baby oil. You know what I mean? And I think what people are forgetting is She met him, she was 17, she said he kissed her, she wasn't expecting that because she did have her boyfriend, because when she made those songs that everybody thinks she made those songs underneath of her boyfriend, people, let's be clear, not under the and the songwriter confirmed that, right? And, you know, when I see 'cause we're all entitled to our opinion, but when I'm seeing people saying, "Oh, I don't know who's gonna get upset or not, but Cassie was a victim. Cassie wanted it." She is 22 now at that time. 20 your first of all, your brain isn't even fully developed until you're 25. Let's start there, okay? Then on top of that, we all have made some silly, simple decisions. You got some people who are over 40 and still making simple decisions today. Okay, let's just call a thing a thing. I'm gonna call a thing, all right? And everybody can say what they would and wouldn't do when they're not in a situation, unless you truly know yourself, whatever they may have. That is beside the point. The point is, this girl is 20 something years old, dreaming of being a star. She not dealing with Pookie from the block. And I think, and this is what I was trying to tell my friend earlier. She not dealing with she not dealing with man who got the block hot, the popping, you know, the popping dope boy that got some long money. Point. She's dealing with a billionaire that got money. He got law enforcement on his side. He has doctors that write the prescriptions for her opioids. He has attorneys. I mean, I don't think that, we are, looking at this from a rich standard, or as y'all like to call it, a high value man, right? And then you also know we gotta do this because I said it's a lot to unpack because I want to get into it before I get out of here. Because you also see online where all you hear and see is men on podcasts or different platforms just bashing and dogging the crap out of women, right? And then it was the whole epidemic of if a man got bringing in the bag, you ain't supposed to question him. He should be able to do what he want to do because he got this is what y'all saying, not me, right? Make sure you guys are tapping the screen, sharing out the show, right? This is what he said. And so she's dealing with this high value man who has options. And she loves him as quiet as it's kept. She loves So she wanted to do whatever it was going to take to make him happy because she loved him. She didn't tell her mother about the abuse. Her mother found out later, and even when her mother found out, she told her mother it was the first time, or whatever the case may be. He threatened to hurt her mother, and then he also blew the Kid Cudi car, or whatever. Yeah, is it Kid Cudi? I think so. His car, right? So this is not somebody who can't act on his threat. We see it every day, whether it's on Dateline, Snap, Lifetime, or anything like that, or just a regular social media video. I think I just watched one like a couple weeks ago where the girl was vacuuming out her van with her child in the seat. I guess she was beefing with her boyfriend or whoever he was. He pulls up and she's seeing, she's like, oh my God. She didn't get in the car and try to run. She dropped the vacuum and got in the front seat because the van door was open, and she got into, like, a fetal position, and he just began wailing on her, and it was a white man right there cleaning his car, and he's wilding her out. I mean, he and the baby had to be like 3, 4, in the car seat, and he drags her out of the passenger of the driver's seat of the freaking car wash parking lot and is giving it to this girl. Then she gets in the car and she closed the door and he karate kicks the crap and busts the window. Glass get all over her car, and the baby. So I'm just saying, like, let us keep in mind that these are celebrities, and they're human. Celebrity gives them a different status. That's why we all know about it. But people are actually dealing with this. There's also another young lady, I forget which state she was in, grown woman, spending Thanksgiving with her family at her house with her new man. Her ex shows up and unalived her on Thanksgiving in her house in front of her family with her new dude. You get what I'm saying? So you got some dudes that's been around here that are crazy where people think they own you and they don't know how to let you go. So could you imagine you being with somebody with some power that don't know how to let you go or don't wanna let you go? And so when they all keep saying, "Well, she stayed, it was a choice," or why she kept going back, like, there is a thing called Stockholm syndrome. There is a thing. There is a thing where you begin to have feelings, be compassionate, have empathy, and feel a way for your abuser. You have some people who fall in love with their kidnappers. When they kidnap them, they don't want you to hurt them. Like, so I feel like that we're all like everybody who may be commenting saying, "Oh, she wanted it. Oh, she liked it." Cannot be that educated in certain areas. It's easy to say she had a choice or whatever, but I don't understand how that grooming is really real. Especially when you are mentally enslaved to a person's situation. It's like, "Look, you oh, okay. Okay, you get it." Yes. No, for real. And not even that, CJ, quiet as his cat. We got to be real. Quiet as his cat, whether it may be you guys that are watching or you somebody who's watching in the background over there on TikTok or you yourself or whatever. We all know somebody that is staying and dealing with a no good dude, no matter or woman, no matter how many times they disclose that they some trash, you still trying to find a reason to be with the trash. Whether it's the children, whether you want to say it's cheaper to keep her, whether you want to say it's the history of the relationship, after they didn't what? Went and made babies. You said you ain't wanna deal with no babies. Well, they got babies. You said that you ain't wanna deal with cheating, and they cheating. You said you ain't wanna deal with a liar, and they lying. You said you didn't wanna deal with somebody who wasn't stable, and they unstable. You get what I'm saying? So so I feel like when people are looking at this whole Cassie thing, you definitely got to really look at it. You have to look you can't really be looking at it. Maybe it's good just to comment, maybe I wanna give it up to them that they wanna just comment and all of that. 'Cause, I felt myself going on some post, and I was like I had to go, to myself, 'cause, I'll go on the post and, social media is meant to be social, and I don't mind being social. And I'm like, "Oh," somebody said something, and I said, "Wow, I have some questions, like, this disturbs me, but Imma keep quiet." You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Because 'Cause I'm like, I'm ready to go there. 'Cause they're like, "I don't care." And then you do just have some people who are just douchebags that just wanna get a charged response and wanna trigger emotions out of people or whatever. But usually when stuff like that happens, but sometimes depending upon what it is, I be like, "Yo, whoa, thank you for letting me see how you think." Nobody wanna talk. Yup, nobody wanna talk about that. They don't. They don't. They don't. And my point is, y'all can't walk away from everyday 9 to 5 people. Or they may not got a job. But so why you think this girl should have been able to just walk away from this billionaire like that? Whom she did leave several times, and he was sending his security to go get her. Whom she called the police a few times. Yeah, the one time the friend called and she told him no, nothing happened. But there were times that she reported it, and guess what? Nothing happened. Nothing happened. So I definitely will say I get that she knew and she admitted that he told her he liked seeing his woman sleep with other men, right? Yeah, I should have said this, but I should have did this said this a different way, but I'm gonna do it now because now y'all not gonna be honest. How many people, or maybe you yourself, how many times have you done something with the person you with just to make them happy? Especially when it comes to sex. You have people out here doing threesomes that don't even wanna do threesomes. You have some people out here that's type of women that said they would never sleep with women. You have some guys out here that wanna do anal, and some women say they not with it, but they'll let you do it every now and then again. You have some people in relationships that don't even smoke weed, but their partner may smoke weed, and they'll be like, "Hey, I want you to smoke with me today." But you're not expecting him to wanna turn you into no crackhead. You get what I'm saying? You're not expecting him to wanna poke your butt every day. Like, all these hoes I got, you just wanna keep doing that? After I told you this is not what I like, you know what I mean? Okay, I gave you the threesome for our anniversary, but now you want a threesome every time we go to sleep together? Am I not good enough? What is going on? So, like this is real stuff though. And don't nobody wanna address people don't wanna address that because they just wanna say, "Oh, this." When you have people out here, I know several that would lose their mind if their partner left them alone. Dealing with things that they said they wouldn't deal with. I once one time was that person too. But dealing with things that they said they didn't wanna deal with. Doing things that they didn't even think they would do. In situations that they did not see for themselves. All because they fell in love with the other person. And that's real. It happens. It happens. Oh, look at you. Not anything sexual, but I've put up with things that I shouldn't have to keep my partner happy. Yeah. Like, thanks for the honesty. I appreciate the honesty. Let me give you some hearts and thumbs up for the honesty. You too. Make sure you hit the like button on the video. Make sure you guys hit the like button on the video for me. Um, I appreciate that. I appreciate the honesty because, yo, it's true. It's so true. People deal with stuff all the time that they said they wouldn't deal with. All the time. But now I guess because it's in this celebrity world, it's in the celebrity limelight that they wanna make it seem like, "Oh, well, this, that, and the third." And my thing is this, we even have the Chrisean and Blueface. They both were violent, and what she say, he was like, "Well, you started." I think she said, "Well, you started or something, or he started." And she said, "Yeah, because it just seemed like that after you did it the first time, that would be, like, the only way to get your attention." I don't know, I can't quite remember. Let's go look back at my old footage. But We saw that. Now you see this girl who chose to live her life publicly online, who chose to let you see her growth, let you see where she is. She had a baby. Then when she went to get her baby baptized, people were saying she did it for clout. Then people couldn't understand why she kept going back to Blueface. It's all like she forgetting that she comes from a background of abuse. You know what I'm saying? Of witnessing her parents be abusive to each other. It's just like they forgot all of that, and now when she goes to get her child baptized, they say she's doing it for clout. Now that she's saying that she got closer to God during her prison sentence, she realized some things, she woke up. Now you have people saying, "Oh, well, let's see what happens, how she be when Blueface get home." Like, why you already counting her out before it even had started? But what I love about her though, is this recent podcast she did where she was like, she know he ain't no good for her, and she don't be listening when God be telling her to leave him alone. But she started to see the results of her not listening. She never said she don't love him no more. She has a kid with him. She never said that. But what she did say is, it sucks because she knows she can't be with him because it's not a good situation. Now, granted, you're gonna be tested. We all get tested every day. How many times have you said you wanted to change or you try to do something, and next thing you know, you're gonna change your ways, you're gonna stop cussing people out, and somebody do something to make you say, "Oh my God, I just said I wasn't going to act the fool, but you about to make me act the fool up in here." I know that's happened to me as well. You know what I mean? It happens. So yeah, him coming home. Oh, I know that's gonna be a test. That is gonna be a huge test. But even if she slip and she fall back with him, right? God is not gonna leave her where he found her. God's still gonna be right there. She's still gonna be doing her praying. She's still gonna be doing you know what I mean? Because it can be difficult because of how she also looks at him. He gave her a kid. She also feel like Blueface saved her life. He gave her an opportunity. She became rich. She didn't care. She wanted to perfect her love and wanted him to know, "Yo, I'm yours. I rock with you. I don't want nobody but you." She lost her tooth behind this man. He humiliated her all over the internet, and every time see, and this is what I don't like because this is all people see, and every time she went to go do something to prosper beyond him, he would go to the internet and go off. He posted the pictures of the son. She did the song, made that number 1 song. That song went up. He go back and do a song, get his baby mother, who they used to be beefing all the time. He writes her lyrics. You go in the studio with this chick. I mean, this is crazy. Give her lyrics to say about me in a song. Her song go up too. She ends up getting a little distribution deal. And I love you. Can y'all imagine that? And I love you. And all because I chose to allow the world to see me. But I ain't gonna lie. Between Christian and Kevin Gates, y'all be trying to say, "Oh, Beyonce don't see comments." Beyonce see comments, and she reads them. That's why she had Blue Ivy get them dance moves together, but that's another show. However, Chrisean and Kevin Gates do not care. If y'all know them or follow them, she don't care what y'all had to say or nothing. She was going to be with him. Everybody keeps talking to him about how he with Drika and Drika ain't this. Drika ain't nothing like Brittany Jenner. And Brittany Jenner went on a show and admitted she was a scallywag. Even he had married and got with her. Kevin don't care nothing about that at all. So yeah, it's a little sad and it's irritating when I see when the people are saying, "Well, Cassie wanted it. Cassie wasn't a victim." as if she didn't have the right to say no. When you have people that go above and beyond for their partners every day. Somebody right now got a in a relationship and y'all don't even speak to each other and y'all living in the same house. You get what I'm saying? Why you ain't leaving? He ain't putting no gun to your head and he damn sure ain't got no Diddy money. Or she ain't got no Diddy money. Why you putting up with it? And so when it's going on in the courtroom and she's like, 'cause I'm interested to see what they're gonna do with her tomorrow. And she's like, I love them. Even after he sexually assaulted her because she told him she had a boyfriend. She was saying somebody. Oh, it's the guy she's now married to. He kicked her door in and took it. And she loved him. So I feel like we, we try to measure love based upon what and how what someone does, where it says, "Oh, well, you did this, so I shouldn't love you," and not understanding that it doesn't work like that. That's just like if your partner came to you and said they wanted to, you know, no longer be Sharon, they wanted to be Sean, or no longer wanted to be Derek, wanted to be Debbie. You may say, "No, you're not with it," but that's not going to make you stop loving them or care for them. It's not it's not gonna work. If that's the case, then you didn't love them anyway. You didn't care anyway. But Stockholm syndrome is real. This was her first time seeing Diddy in, like, 6 years. She didn't even see him when she got the money. So, at the age of 22 and 23, she was hooked on opioids to the point she said she would have to get numbed up. She had she couldn't even do her singing studio sessions because she had sores in her mouth. He made her like, him and the prostitute urinated in her mouth, and she was choking on it. She said she was so high and out of it that she, like, woke up and was like, "Stop." Like, you know what I mean? You got some people who voluntarily get it in on their cycle, we don't judge, we listen and we don't judge, you know what I mean? But imagine being made to have to sleep with about 8 guys on your cycle, and 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 he didn't allow them to wear protection. So I feel like that at some point, when you hearing all of these horrible details, something has to click where it's like, "Yo, she has Stockholm syndrome." She thought she loved him. And then she said that he would beat her up and break her down. You know how everybody feel like light is bright, and I don't know what she's mixed with, but light is better, and she was so beautiful, and this, and he, um, he ate at her self-esteem. And she said every time she would say no to something, he would say, "I'll get somebody else to do it." Then I think one time she said she had called his bluff, and he beat her. And so there were times that she did hit him back. So now they trying to say, "Well, she was just as aggressive." I don't care how aggressive she was after this man is having me sleep with all these people all day, every day, using 10 bottles of baby oil a session. She said he was setting up the rooms and stuff like he was making and filming a music video. She had sores in her mouth. She was sleeping with people on her cycle, and she had to sleep with people while she had UTIs and text him and told him or would tell him during the sessions like, it's burning, I'm in pain." And he like, "You'll be alright." What? So it's just like to sit and be like She wanted that. It's like, what? The girl is high all the time, trying to get through what she gotta get through. If she say no, she get beat. When she say yes, she get beat. When she try to hang with her friends, she get beat. He even beat up 2 of her friends. So at this point, she has no friends. And yet people are able to say she was not a victim. She volunteered. And now they showing a video of him on it's on Twitter of them with her for his 48th birthday. They're in Mexico having a good time. Okay, my dude, let's be clear. Don't you and your relationship have good days too? Ain't it a time where y'all might be able to have a moment, but it's those little moments that be making you hold on, thinking that this whole situation is going to change, and it's not? Get the out of here. I don't care about her having fun with him at his birthday party. Almost every red carpet, um, event, she was covering a bruise. So anytime that she wore her hair on her forehead or something, it was because she was covering up a bruise. So I said all that to say that then you have these people today who idolize these celebrity relationships, who saw her at these awards. Hold up. Saw her at these awards, saw her at these red carpet events. You even had Nicki Minaj say, "I'm plotting on how I could take Cassie away from Diddy." You know, you're being mentioned in these records and not knowing. I'm trying to show y'all this one picture. And all of this is coming out in court because they're reading the text messages, right? It's coming out with the text messages. So they said today, um, Diddy was getting flustered today. Like the first day he got annoyed. Okay, let me show y'all this because I wanted to see this. Let me show y'all. I'm about to 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 show y'all. I want another angle. I want another angle. She got to stand at another angle because they try to say you can see it, but this is the picture that they. This is the picture that they showed. Ooh, this is the picture that they showed in court. Ooh, let me hold on. She was going to the video premiere for some movie. I forget the movie, but let me try. That. So this was the premiere where she had to go on a red carpet, and she was telling him that, but but behind her shoulder, all of that is supposed to be have been bruised. He didn't care. So here we are. You have people idolizing these celebrity relationships, thinking that all of this stuff is good, cool, not knowing the hell this girl is going through to be in this relationship. I'm gonna show you another one. I'm gonna show you another one. And she has a permanent gash on her face that will never go away. Oh, this is one right here. I'm going to show you this. Let me show you this. This is another one where he beat her. I mean, could you imagine being beaten and then still having to show up still having to show up and play face with this mother freaker. And I'm guessing because, you know, she looked good in the pictures or something that people are like, "Man, she wanted it. She wanted it. She wanted it." I'm trying to show you this other one. Where it go? Where it go? Is it this one? Oh, no, it's not that one. She wanted it. She was not being taken advantage of. Are you guys still there? You guys still keeping up? I'm trying to pull it. Okay, it keep popping up. Where you going? Where you go? Ugh, I'm trying to show y'all this picture. I'm trying to show y'all. I'm trying to show y'all. Let me find out down one away. Oh, let me look down one. Let me see this one. Hold on, let me go out of it. You guys still here? Tap the screen. So I mean, it's just it is just so unfortunate, and everyone is saying that she's not a victim, and I just think that maybe it didn't start out that way. But I mean, he did tell her what he was into. But my God, I bet you she ain't think she was gonna be getting beat like that. And he couldn't let her leave. And then the crazy thing is, he didn't want her he didn't want his kids to see that he was beating her like that. So then you love this man, then you being put in a hotel, and she says she was in I gotta show it to you. Open this file. So if it's letting me open it there. And she was like, she was being put up in hotels and she got irritable. She was getting tired of being put up in a hotel. She wanted to go home. Uh, this was these Billboard awards or something. Hold on. If not, I'm gonna just show it this way. So what y'all thinking? How y'all feeling? Do you feel like she was a victim? Do you? So it's just one of those things where it's like, yo, you can't really like to say that that girl wanted that. Like y'all, like you really believe that here we are, this girl 30 something years old. And then it was a time where she tried to off herself. Um, she had told her husband to take care of the kids and all of that, and she couldn't do it, and she tried to walk through herself in traffic. After Imma do it. After fricking let me just share my screen. She had already left him. Let's just do this. Share. Right here. Right here. This was the Billboard something awards. I think she had a knot on her forehead or her eyes was black or something. So they said that. She said anytime you seen her with hair on her face, it was because she was covering up something. He looked like a demon. You know what I mean? And it's just crazy. Let me see if I can show you some more. So it's just like y'all, like, let's stop looking at these celebrities as relationship goals. These people going through it. Some of these people are going through it. And then the crazy thing is, you don't hear about it until after the relationship is over, because everybody wanna do a tell-all. You understand? So, listening to her testimony and all of that, listening to her, there's no way let me go see your comment. I don't wanna play the race card, but I don't like if we from us, it gets put on blast to the fullest. We for days and all, but when it's no lighter, you don't get the same energy. Yeah, but shoot, tomato, tomato. If you know how I feel like if you know how they do us, then why do you even put up in those situations and predicaments? That's how I feel too with the judicial system. If you know it don't never go in our favor, we gotta stop putting ourselves in the hands in our future and at their disposal. I don't even know if it doesn't get the same exposure or if it's that they settle. It seems like them white folks settle right away. These celebrities are regular people with the same issues as us. Yeah, they just don't have L problems, but they got some other problems. And that's what I said. Sometimes, having all that money, you get bored. He probably was bored. He had been having one person sex for years, but then not even that because you heard his baby mama talk about how he did the same thing to her. But you're not gonna tell me that this young lady wanted to get on a stand and talk about this sescapades and tell the world that she done slept with a lot of people and she enjoyed it. They have text messages where she asked him to get rid of the videos. He told her he did, and he didn't. He had that girl in a record deal for 10 albums, and she only did 2. But she was popular. I'm shocked, but there's a lot of women like that, like this, that are not famous that need see this to get out of this abuse. Yeah. And so that's what I'm saying. You just never know, like, why everybody's sitting here saying she not a victim. Oh, she did this. Oh, she wanted it. But she's also helping somebody else be able to walk away. And let's be real, not everybody walk away. The little 19-year-old girl got into it with her boyfriend. I think she had like listen to see she on TikTok. She paralyzed now. They were arguing, and he tuned up the car while she was driving. She was asking for her phone. Then he didn't even wanna call the police because he didn't want them to know that he did it. She telling him, "I need an ambulance. I can't feel my legs. I can't move." He told her, "Yes, you can." Got her up out the car and was trying to make her walk until she fell to the ground. 'Cause he ain't wanna be caught to doing this. Could you really imagine, somebody that you think loves you doing you like that? And then imagine you decide to tell and speak out, and somebody say, "Well, why you ain't been say nothing?" "Oh, I think you lying. You ain't deal with that. You liked it." "What?" "Well, why you asked for money?" They asked her. She said because she was gonna write the book, but then something happened, and they said, "Well, why were you gonna do that?" And she said, "Because she wanted him to see what he did to her." She would send him pictures saying, "I hope you remember this, what you did." She kept every receipt. She kept every receipt. And then the other thing that makes me say, remember when he was at the awards and he was like, "I wanna thank Tyler Perry," Tyler Perry. TD Jakes and everybody who was there with me during these dark times. And then remember at the end, he was like, wanna he was like, "I also wanna," um, he was like, "I also wanna thank Cassie who was with me during these very, very dark times." Why are you taunting this girl? Knowing what you put this girl through. I believe that's when she said, "You know what? This is it." But she said she wanted to get his attention. That's why she was writing the book. She would send him the pictures of what he did to her face, and he would say, "You trying to start me." It's even a text message where she said, "You treating me like Ike. You acting like Ike. I feel like I'm with Ike Turner." So, regardless if in the beginning he made it clear what he was into, she still had the right to say no. And actually, the video footage that we saw, they asked her about that. Was like, "What is that from?" She said she was trying to leave. She didn't wanna do the freak off because the male prostitute testified, and he was in the room. She didn't wanna do it. She said she did not wanna do the freak off. She was tired. She just wanted to go home. She did not wanna do it. And she left. They got to fighting, and that's when we see him chasing her down the hallway, taking her stuff. He wouldn't let her leave. So, whether you wanna say she didn't say no any other time, guess what? The time she did say no, that she admitted to saying no, is on video, and he wouldn't let her leave. He threw vases at her head and stomped and kicked her, took her purse, took everything. He would not let her leave. He wouldn't let her leave. So when I said no, what y'all got to witness what my no looked like, he didn't let me leave. I had to get beat before I left. You know what I mean? So that's why it's just it's important to listen and don't judge. Observe without judgment. Have some compassion. Like, what if this was your kid? We all know our kids. I'm pretty sure you and your parents' kid dealt with somebody they didn't approve of. What you do, whether you was in high school, how you was sneaking to go see them, lying things with your homegirls. Mother asked you where you going to the mall by yourself, whole time you wanna meet up with him, and she said he would always tell her he wanted to talk. And how many times do we go through a relationship where we're looking for that one last conversation, or we're waiting for that, "Can we talk?" message, and you go running. The next you know, your legs up in the air, or you back into the same vicious cycle. Yo, my God, it happened. But what he was doing to her against her will is crazy. He ain't just do it with her. So this is why I said, "Oh, he peed on Young Miami. Oh, he peed on Young Miami." And he'd let Young Miami know what he was up to off the break because it would be no different from what he did with Cassie. He let Cassie know what he was into. Young Miami probably was with it. He probably just wasn't beating her. You understand? She probably was with it and he just wasn't beating her, but he pissed on her. All that stuff that man into. Oh, she done when then she trying to recant saying she ain't get Peter. I can't wait for her to take the stand. She's supposed to get on the stand too. Supposed we gonna see. Like girl, 69 he's a freaky, he's a 69 god. And then it's like hearing all this stuff that he's into. Somebody don't unless she tried to say she met him when he was all love, love. I just spread love and positivity, all love. I guess so, if you was a demon for 100 years, what else you got left to spread? Hey, Mandy. Take into consideration that she went to the cops twice. Yeah, yeah, we talked about that. She tried to get some help. She really did. So it's just like, damn, y'all going in on this girl. Like I said, she not trying to get away from little Tony from round the way. She trying to get away from a rich six figure with some weight and some pull who assigned people to watch her. What? First of all, I'm not watching you all day. They were getting paid to watch her. Even though they put up the text messages where the one security guard text and say, "Where are you? It's time for you to put some ice on your eye." What? Like, why are y'all talking to her like this is regular? But that's because it's regular. And then this is one of those things too where it goes to where I say, do we mind our business too much? Because we'll see somebody getting hurt or something going on crazy, and we won't even call the police. I'm the police calling queen. I just did it what? Like a week or so ago, I called the police for somebody. Yes, I did. I don't know what was going on. I was on the call. I called the police. I was going off, like going off in this car with this girl, and she was in the car, and I don't know what was going on. I got the phone with my homegirl. I was like, "Let me call you back. I'm about to call the." I said, "Girl, I don't know how about my business. I had to call the police." She laughed, but I don't play that. I don't play that. Like, I don't care if she went back or whatever they was going through. I don't care. Not on my watch. Before I pick up my phone to record anything, I'm calling the police. I'm calling the police. I'm sorry. Unless I got both phones. Then I got one here and the other one is gonna be recording. But for the most part, I'm trying to get your description to the dispatch. So it's like, do we mind our business too much? And I get it. Sometimes, the innocent can be you can also be, yeah, but nah, because that could be my kid, that could be my sister, that could be my friend. Nah, he ain't gonna get you today. Not if he doing it in front of me. No. So that is who I am as a person, you know. And so, like I said, to see and to hear the security guards say, "Well, he paid us. He was my boss," or "I didn't see him. He knew not to do it in front of me." But my guy, you knew he was beating her though. Like, but you knew he was beating her though. And for real, and then you wanna say, "No, it wasn't true." We do be minding our business too much. Yeah, we do. We do. I mean, look at what and then what happened is these people get put up on these pedestals. I mean, people don't even think that some of these celebrities are human. It's like such and such wouldn't do that. How you know what they wouldn't do? You don't know these people. That's why I say, God forbid somebody come up like Beyonce. Oh my God, the world gonna shut down. The world is gonna shut down. It's like what? Or when going back to what CJ said, oh, it's us. We're always getting put in the media. Like they keep saying, no, next to JC. If it ain't nothing to find, it ain't nothing to find. Clearly, it's stuff to find. Like it's not. It's not about. I don't care how many times. railroad. It's not about, uh, they to me anyway, they demolishing the black man. The black man shouldn't have been doing demolishable shit. So, it's not my girl. But let's be real. There is no way you ain't ever see Obama, okay, worried about they was gonna find a prostitute or a side chick somewhere. If it was gonna be any black man they wanted to smear, you better believe it would have been that one. They don't want him to be a role model the first. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. That is an example that you can be successful, you can succeed, you can be up in those ranks, and there is nothing for anybody to find, no matter how hard they look. Obama ain't had no side baby. Obama ain't got no babies before the babies with Michelle. None of that. Come on. It definitely gives where did they find him. He got to be a mutant. 'Cause that's right here, unicorn. So it's just one of those things where it's just like, yo, I don't know. I don't like living. I don't like living, CJ. I'm sorry. I don't like living behind that. Oh, they like to drag us black people through the mud. You shouldn't give them nothing to drag. Out of any dude I ever slept with, I ain't never think about tying the dude up and torturing him and poking him with a fork all night long. I ain't ever thought about that. I ain't ever thought about getting it in with him and wanting to beat him in the head with a dildo. I ain't never think about, "Oh, I wanna just give him 100,000,000 threesomes." No, I don't, 'cause I want to myself. You know what I mean? If more people suffer consequences for their actions, they might think twice before doing the most in front of people. Yeah, and that's because we mind our business too much. I totally agree with that. We mind our business too much. But guess what? And then not only that, because we all have to answer for everything. You get what I'm saying? And for me, I don't ever want the time comes where my eyes closed and God be like, "Well, remember when this lady right here or this guy right here or these kids over here, this was going on, and what did you do? You kept driving, or you said nothing, or you sat there and act like nothing happened, or you didn't do why did you do that?" Shit, I ain't trying to answer that. Them type of I answer the questions of why I keep going back, or why I done did this, or why I broke my celibacy or something like that. I damn sure ain't ready to answer that. Like how I sat and watched somebody else be in harm's way and did nothing, especially because they were my boss. Yeah, all right. Yeah, all right. I don't care. I'd have quit first. I'd have quit. I'm not working for you. But see, everybody's different, right? They all tell me. Everybody's different. I know everybody got that different mindset. I only speak for me. I wouldn't have did it. I couldn't have did it. Oh, well, how you know? Because I've experienced it and I ain't making six figures. You understand? And the thing is, I don't even hang around people when I know you ain't even right to the person you dealing with. I can't be in your company knowing you messing around with your partner. I can't. Like I might can talk to you, you might get your chat and stuff on the phone and all that, but you better not bring your girlfriend around me. You better not bring your side chick around me. You better pick who you want me to be around. That's what you better do. Cause I can't do both. Yeah, that's how and if that's the case, I won't come to the party. You know? You know what I mean? I remember one time I remember a lot of times with my little father, all his friends was trash, all of 'em was taken. Some was even married. Like, god damn! Well, you are the company you keep. I see, I would if look, y'all coulda hit me with the cash if I was woke then, but shit, I was 20. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But it's like, damn, if I was aware enough or if I wasn't as in love, I would have been able to see that your friends are reflections of you. Y'all all hang together because 'cause y'all all do the same shiggity. And then what happened? I stopped going around, or I stopped going around the Y. I can't do it. It's a conscious thing in me. I'm wrong if I tell. I stopped telling on people years ago. You know, I didn't always know not to tell because my goal was never not to tell you to have you leave your person alone. My thing of telling you was because you need to know because I want to know. But I learned that just because I want to know, everybody don't want to know. And a lot of the times, the people who don't want to know, they already know, but they don't want to know that you know. You know what I mean? You know how many friends I lost because their man was some trash. You know, I can't control it. You know what I mean? Like it be crazy out here that people will be more loyal to the disloyal dude or the disloyal woman than to the loyal friend. You got an attitude with the loyal friend. But you mad because your dude sleeping with your friend's friends and your friends don't know. Oh, your friend done seen you out with a chick that ain't your girlfriend, that's their home girl, and sending you a picture like, "Yo, look at yo." And you talking about this is true story. You gotta have a meeting with everybody. This ain't no PTA parent night conference. Why you wanna meet with the friends that's sending you pictures of the dude that's your dude that told you they was somewhere else and they laid up with a chick, caught. They see your friends see them, but you wanna have a meeting because 'cause you trying to decide who's telling the truth. You can't make this shit up. And these are regular people. This ain't Cassie's and Diddy's. This ain't Cassie's and Diddy's. So that's why it's like before you look at all these people, Sean and Cassie and Diddy and y'all pass the judgment, you better take a look at yourself or look at your homegirls or go back down in your closet and see where you done fell short. Because you too did something or dealt with something that someone else wouldn't deal with. I dealt with some things that you wouldn't deal with. Everybody got their own poison. Like, I dealt with a no good person for damn near 20 years. If he had some money, I might have been there at 30. Straight up. Okay, if he had a big bag, all right? If he had a big bag, I might have been like, you know what? All right up here on this yacht. All right up on this yacht. You know, can I cover Rebecca? I know. But, but for real. Okay, like who the girl you was with? But is you gonna go see her tomorrow? You know, you might tolerate some crap. Look at Kirk and Rashida. Rashida the one that got the bag, and she a 50-old fool. Come on. But y'all prayed. That's what I'm saying, just in the comments, what I see online. People praise Rashida and Kirk saying, "Oh, you guys are marriage goals. You guys got through it. You guys," and they up there putting their mouth on Bendici and Yandy's marriage or not marriage. Nigga, you made a whole movie with your wife. What? Your wife ain't even accepting of your son. What? But y'all say Kirk and Rashida is goals. You can't make this up. We watched Cardi get cheated on every day. Said she wanted to leave him the very first time. She yelled at everybody for saying, "Leave him, leave him, leave him." And she told the world she was leaving him the first time. And he showed up at the show with the flowers. He showed one nice gesture. And everybody in the comments, forgive him, forgive him. Guess what? She forgave him and been in hell ever since. Okay? Let to wake up and smell a coffee. Yep, just like I said, regular people doing the same stuff. It's just easy to talk about somebody else. Exactly. Exactly. So it's like, I don't know what it is within us that we we cheer on foolishness. We tell people to stay in pain. People are victims and we tell them they're not. People say they're in love and we say they stupid. You know what I mean? You tell somebody you tried to leave and they brought you back and they saying, "Well, why you ain't do more?" Like what? And a woman can't beat a man on a good day. On a good day. And it's just like, damn. And then to add insult to injury, you could be getting beat in broad daylight. Not one person to stop to help you. Almost make me wanna cry, for real. And I do a lot of things that I do too, because it's just genuinely who I am, but also I wanna put out what I get, and things come back. Your karma and things come back not just through you, but even through your children. And I would hate for something to be happening with my kid and whether it's a car accident, a fight, or and people just standing there. I like to believe that because of what I do, that if she or my sister or my brothers, my nieces, my nephews, cousins, friends ever got into a situation, that it's gonna be one person out the whole bunch that assists with their rescue. I believe that. I believe that. Because outside of anything else, we were put here to uplift and help each other. And somewhere along the way, we get lost. We become desensitized. We become with, that's their fault. Oh, well, not my business. Oh, mind your business. Turn around. We teach our kids at an early age, mind their business. Stop telling. Like, it's taught to us early. Do that got something to do with you? No, be quiet. So then you grow up as an adult watching people get tore up. And I got my mama always told me, mind my business. What? When did you make a choice? Like, it's stuff that we're just taught ass backwards. You know what I mean? And it's just sad because then you see it. We grow up as these misguided and confused adults. We are now putting. Did y'all see the girl? I think she was on TikTok. I think she went viral. Her baby got to be like 9 months. She done glued the stocking cap to the baby head and put a whole goddamn wig on the baby, gluing. Like, this is what we've come to. Now, it might not be a big deal to some, might be little to others, it might be huge. If I knew who she was, I'd have called Child Protective Service. 'Cause why do this baby got a freaking gluing in her head? I need somebody to tell me, is this wrong? Is this child endangerment? What is it? Because this newborn should not have a frontal one. I'm that and I'm also that person that speak up for people at work. I've always been that person. I don't know how many times I got in trouble for that, especially as a damn cop. Okay, saw so many injustice, even was the victim of one, several. But guess what? I've always spoken up. I've always been the voice. Guess that's why I got a talk show. But I've always spoken up for people who were mistreated. I hate the subject because it's a double-edged sword. I'm against men hitting women, but if the woman is the primary aggressor and the man is defending himself, I'm just saying that's real too. Yeah, women go to jail too, though. Why you can't call the police on her? Well, I would think that if it was a woman, if you guys saw a woman beating on a man, and you were a man, you'd probably be more prone to jump in because you could control her a little more. Because there are a lot of men in abusive relationships that don't speak out either. I met several. You know what I mean? Everybody got to go. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Go straight to jail. Treat them like a monopoly board. Straight up. But that's just me. That's just me. I tells on everybody. Don't care how you like it, fight me. And then you go to jail because I'm pressing charges. I will always be the victim. Straight up. I had to learn that early too. Sometimes you got to be the victim. You know? So it's just sad. I'm saying that if you only happen to catch the man beating her, but she really started it, but at the time the man looks like the predator. Yeah, but guess what? That is why they have something called the justice system and the police department to figure that out. 'Cause I remember doing it, and they would say, "Guess what? When you don't know who did it, you take both of them to jail. That's not your problem. You ain't there. I didn't tell you to be there to look and be the lawyer, the judge, and all of that. I told you just to be the rescuer. Call the police. Let them figure it out. Let them figure it out. Get Jesus on the main line. You know, that's what I say. That's what I say. So I want us to stop minding our business. He said, true. Come on now. Because some women out here be doing some crazy stuff too, though. I just was like, that Cassie and Diddy thing, it just was like, come on, let's really look at this. Just really, and she had her own lessons to learn too as to why she experienced what she experienced. He got his own lessons too. You will pay the piper. And then the sad part is they was saying that Jaguar White was crazy, but now they came out that she wasn't lying about nothing she said about Diddy. And she also speaking on stuff with Jay-Z, but I guess that'll come at a later date. And I ain't gonna lie, I'll be sick about it because I love me some Jay-Z. I've actually go to police station there before too. And I don't even do police. Oh, okay. Come on. And when in doubt, just think of Wyclef John. Someone please call 911. Tell them I just been shot down. Oh, he told us that years ago. Okay? How you interpreted the lyrics is on you. He been said town. Tell him the assailant was 5'5", and she poom me with a weapon. That's what he said. That's what he said. So I had a good time tonight talking to you guys. I'm hoping that this just make you quick to listen, slow to judge. If you see somebody being mistreated or something, and you can phone the popo. Everybody that stay is not saying voluntarily. Stockholm syndrome does exist, and some people are sincerely afraid, especially when there's proof that people have left and they're even no longer here because they left. And men have took out the whole family because she said she don't wanna be with him no more. But I hope that the overall message is no matter how much you like a person, no matter how much you think or find you think they are, when they tell you what they like and what they want from the very beginning, and it does not align with you in your future and what you want for you, I pray that you have the strength to walk away the first time and don't look back. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay. So, oh wow, look, 2 hours. We did 2 hours today, a lot longer than what I wanted to do. Didn't even know, but I knew the thing to be long. Guys, make sure you go ahead and follow me on all platforms. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. Share the show. Share the show. Hit the like button on YouTube. Hit that like button on the video. I appreciate you guys for watching and follow your girl. And that's all, folks. Be blessed and have a